Who's noticed the shift in the market? Yes. Yes. It's happening in reality. It's also happening in your mind. And what's happening in your mind is now translating into your success in the business. How many of you have seen a shift in your deal volume or in the profits that you're making? How many of you haven't done anything yet, so you don't know? Okay, cool. Why it's important? Because how you frame this, how you actually approach the market shift is really important. I'm going to give you guys some actionable items on what you can do to take advantage of the current market, but I also want to illustrate to you guys something about your perspective. Before we get into the actionable items, I want you to understand the power of your perspective. I'm reading a book right now by Dr. Cook called Greatness. This book has changed so much of the way I think. Now, Dr. Cook is a specialized individual in the concept of your mind and its relationship to physical reality. How many of us understand that there is a relationship between what we think and what actually transpires in our life? Who can measure that? Anybody here been able to measure that? No. So Dr. Cook has. What he did is he had a Marine, top of physical condition, the most athletic person he had ever met, come and do an experiment. He's had hundreds of people do this experiment at his office, in his lab. But he asked this Marine, and this Marine is very ambitious, he's very competitive, and he said, I want to be the most athletic, strong candidate that you've ever had on this test before. Who's ever had a cardiologist exam where you do a stress test and they see how your VO2 max and, okay, so you'll understand these stress tests are to failure. Okay, so it's where you're going to physically drop. So he gets this Marine in his lab, and the test is a treadmill test, and it increases in incline, and it increases steadily over the same period of time, and the candidate has to go until they feel like their heart is going to explode out of their chest and they can't take in any more oxygen. That's failure. So this Marine says, I'm going to beat this. I'm going to be the most, I'm going to be the strongest, the fastest, I'm going to last the longest. Dr. Cook said, great, hop on. So he starts going. The treadmill incline is increasing. And at 26 minutes, the candidate goes, and he stops. He's out of breath. Heart's about to explode out of his chest. Can't take in any more oxygen. And while he's trying to catch his breath, he asks the doctor, how did I do? Did I beat everybody? I did, right? I feel like I beat everybody. Nobody could have gone as long as I did. Now, of course, the doctor didn't know quite yet because he hadn't seen all the results, but he said, I think you did great. You're probably in the top percentile. You last really long. And for the sake of the experiment, when asked how long he lasted, the doctor lied. And he told the candidate that he had gone 28 minutes. Now, we know he went 26 minutes, but the doctor said you went 28 minutes. So he said, this is what I want you to do. You're going to come back next week, and you're going to beat 28. So I want you to go home, and I want you to write down beat 28. And I want you to put it everywhere in your house. Put it on your toilet, put it on your phone, put it on your walls, put it where you eat breakfast, put it where you eat lunch, put it where you eat dinner. Everywhere you can see an opportunity to take in visual information, have beat 28 there. Come back next week, and I'm going to do one thing that's different from last week. I'm going to give you a clock so you can see where you are. So the Marine does exactly what he's told. Puts beat 28 all over the place. Comes back the next week. At 28.5 minutes, stops, taps out. Heart's about to explode out of his chest, out of breath. He beat 28. Now, the last week, 26 was the maximum he could do. But this week he gets to 28.5. So he feels great. He's like, I beat it. I beat the time. Doctor says, you did fantastic. You're definitely in the top percentile that we've ever had here. Come back again next week. We're going to do one more time. So the Marine feels so good. He knows he's one of the strongest, most fit men in America, and he feels fantastic. The doctor's giving him accolades, and he's going to come back next week, and he's going to crush it. Shows back up, gets back on the test. No clock. He's like, where's my clock, doc? Well, you don't get a clock. You don't need one. You got this. You're going to failure. You can beat anything because it's you. It's in you. Go. So they start the test. At 26 minutes, taps out. See, physically, 26 minutes is all he can do. That's it. Now, when he's done the test, he asks the doctor, how did I do? And again, for the sake of the experiment, the doctor lies. He says, you went 29 minutes. You beat a record. You beat the record. We're going to do this again next week. I want you to write down, everywhere that you wrote down beat 28, I want you to write down beat 29. And we're going to come back here. I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. I'm going to give you a clock. And you're going to beat 29 minutes. So he comes back next week, ready to beat 29. And at 29.6 minutes, he tapped out. So what does that tell us? What does that tell us about us as human beings? That you can break through your physical barriers, what your biology says you can do, by what you can believe in through perspective and through spirit. So any of you that have not yet achieved the desired result, realize where the problem is. It may not be your effort, it could be your perspective. And right now, the market doing what it's doing is literally breaking the perspective of most would-be or brand new investors. So we need to fix that. We need to address it. Cody wanted me to talk about how we can advance through agent outreach, through working through relationships, how we can advance through this market shift, and I'm going to give you guys 5 actionable ways to get that done. Okay? How many of you understand or have heard of what agent outreach is? Hands, show of hands. Okay. I built one of the nation's largest wholesale operations, not spending a dime in marketing. I don't send out any direct mail. I don't do any cold calling. I don't do any bandit signs. I do none of it. Every one of our deals come from one of 2 sources: relationships with real estate agents and relationships with wholesalers. That's it. That's it. All of my deals are collaborative. Everything that comes through my door is from a relationship. The way I see it, if you're working with real estate agents who are doing their job, meaning they are spending time, money, and energy and effort going out and meeting homeowners to find out if there's an opportunity for them to list a property, we all know that you need to have 50 conversations a day in order to build a pipeline. Now, if you're talking to a real estate agent who's talking to 50 people a day, what if you talk to 50 real estate agents who are each talking to 50 people a day? What does that math work out to? That means you're having 2,500 effective conversations a day by putting out 50 conversations. Understand the math? You will never beat the volume that we do going direct to seller. You will never do it. It's impossible. It's impossible to scale a business where you have to spend money in order for it to grow. Why? Because things break. It's not that you can send out more letters and just double the amount of marketing that you're sending out and it should just double the revenue, because things break at that point. Maybe the acquisitions person that you're sending out on those appointments can't go to all those appointments, so you need to plug somebody else in. Maybe that guy's got bad breath. Maybe he's not going to be able to close as many deals as the other guy. Maybe he's aggressive. Maybe he can't find the same type of resonance with the prospect. And so things start to break as you scale by spending. The best way to scale is through relationships. What's happening right now is we are in a fundamental shift in perspective in the market. 6 months ago, the power laid with the seller. The seller could dictate their price. And how many wholesalers in the room here were trying to talk to homeowners at that time and getting laughed at by your offers? Who in here was having that happen to them? How many of you were trying to talk to real estate agents and giving them offers where they were like, are you out of your flipping mind? Do you think I got to take your pennies on the dollar offer right now when I can put something on the MLS and it's going to get bid up? That was hard. It was hard for a lot of people. But everything has changed. The entire market is different. The position of power that you have as a buyer right now is like nothing you will see again. Ever. When the market crashed in 2008, I lost millions of dollars. How did I get back here? 2010. In 2010, I saw an opportunity when everybody told me real estate was trash. Why would you ever invest in real estate? Did you not see what just happened? The entire market crashed. Everybody died. That's what they were saying. Meanwhile, I'm buying everything I could find. And I kept all of those properties until 2009 when I took an $8 million exit. Think of that. I bought $800,000 worth of property in 2010. And in 2019, I took a $8 million exit. And you know what people say to me? You know what they say? You're lucky. I wish I had money at that time. I wish I was able to do that. They didn't realize that I was a part of the accident where everybody died. I was in that crash. So, how can you take advantage of what's happening right now? First thing, buy deep. Get it out of your mind that now is not the time to buy. You guys got it wrong. In fact, everybody on my team has adjusted their numbers. Regardless of where you are in the United States right now, you should be adjusting your comparables or your ARVs down by anywhere between 15 to 20%. That's to build your self-insulation. The market is actually adjusted down 10. But you should be adjusting your numbers down 20. Why? Because you can. Because you are the only ones out there right now with the buying appetite. Imagine the value that you're going to present to your investors when you bring them a deal or an opportunity that is significantly undervalued. If you have the opportunity to take these properties down right now, do it. You will not be able to purchase these houses again at this price ever. Right now, for reference, we are putting all of our buy numbers to equate to where properties were trading at 2017. Write that down. When you're doing your math, when you're running your comps, look at where that property would have traded in 2017, and that's your buy number today. And present it in power. There's nobody else. And this slowdown is engineered, and it will not last long. It will not last long. You have a small window right now. How do you buy deep? There are actionable ways that you can buy deep. The first, stop going off market. You're crazy thinking that you're going to convince a homeowner right now through some type of cold calling or direct mail or some kind of outreach approach where you had to go and ask somebody if they were interested in selling, if they're going to come down to a realistic price that is going to make sense in today's market. The deals are on the market right now. 100%. These people know that the entire situation has changed, but they still listed. These people know there's very few buyers out there, but they still listed. These people understand that the number that they're going to get today is not going to be even close to what they were expecting, but they still. There you go. What does that mean? Motivation. That means they are actually motivated to trade. So rather than going and popping up in front of people who have expressed no motivation to do a deal, your job is to go and connect with people who have expressed motivation to want to sell their property. So how do you find those deals? Right now I'm looking at anything that's 30, 60, or 90 days on market. I am looking for contract history. Anything that was listed that went under contract at a high price, I'm ignoring. Why am I ignoring it? Because if a seller went under contract at a higher price, they have now been given an unrealistic expectation on where that property will close. They will not be able to let that go. They won't. You will waste your time. They will not be able to let that go. If they went under contract at a price that was at the peak of the market, they will not understand that their property has significantly diminished in value, and they will not be your prospect. What I am looking for in listing history is the following: steady decreases in price. I am looking for language in the listing that shows motivation. A listing agent will inadvertently tell you exactly what's happening in the heart and mind of their client by the words they use. Concessions. Motivated. Submit any offer. The next thing I'm doing is when I am going to make these offers, I am not inserting a buyer's agent. For any of you who have a friend or a relative who's a realtor who said to you, hey, if you want to write offers on deals on the MLS, I've got you. Don't do that. Find alignment with the listing agent. Why do we do that? When you go directly to the listing agent, you remove one thing called friction. Okay, when you add a buyer's agent to a deal, what ends up happening is that buyer's agent comes with their own personality and their own agenda. And when they come with their own personality and their own agenda, what are they not doing? They are not resonating with the other person on the other end of that line. You see, that listing agent right now is in a very difficult situation because they have a client to appease and they got a market that's not cooperating with them. So when you insert another realtor into that conversation, they will not see eye to eye. There will not be alignment there. Going directly to the listing agent allows you to do what? Negotiate with an extra 3%. A good listing agent who cares about their client will refer that 3% back to the seller, and you can offer that as an opportunity for them to find good graces with the seller to accept your lower offer. But a desperate listing agent will take it home. And right now, the market is desperate. Many people put themselves into financial situations that they cannot get out of right now. There's a lot of BMWs been leased in the last 12 months by realtors that have payments due. And that extra 3% will be just enough as what they need in order to go to bat for you with their client. Do not add friction to your offers by putting in a buyer's agent. Go directly to the listing agent. We all understand that? Okay. The next thing, you're having these conversations with these agents. What do you have to do? You have to bring them to understanding. You need to find alignment with them. How do you do that? By arguing about the price? Nope. You find alignment by getting on their side. Every realtor right now is suffering. Every realtor right now has got their business down to a third of what it was from 4 months ago. There are lots of things to talk about that they understand. There are a lot of ways to find commonalities with that person. It is not your job to fight and combat with them. It's your job to be on their team. The second way that we pivot in a market like this, after buying deep, we get creative. How many of you guys are familiar with my best friend, Pace Morby? You guys saw him here yesterday, right?
Yep.
Okay. If you are not utilizing the power of subject to and owner finance in today's market, you are doing it wrong. You are absolutely doing it wrong. Anna told me today that she wants to have some more buy and holds. You're not going to buy and hold with anything on today's financing, but there are a ton of properties out there that you can buy at or near retail value that have 2% mortgages attached to them. Every one of those opportunities is an opportunity for you to either wholesale or add a property to your portfolio. Again, where do we find these deals? On the MLS. Anything 30, 60, 90 days on market that has little or no equity in it. How do we know it has little or no equity in it? It was bought within the last 24 months. Every single one of those deals is a potential subject to opportunity for you. When you are addressing your listing parameters or the properties that are being sent to you, that's how you find them. How many of you guys in here have Privy? Great. Privy will shoot those exact properties to you. It'll let you know exactly what they are. You just set the parameters for 30, 60, 90 days, purchased within the last 24 months, and set the equity down to near zero. And it'll shoot every single one of those opportunities to you. Every one of those realtors is a conversation. Every one of those realtors understands that there is not enough equity in that deal to possibly pay both agents. Every single one of them. So the conversation is about, how do they get paid? Handle that immediately. When you have that conversation, the first thing you address is their commission. Hi, I noticed you have a listing right now. It looks like your seller purchased this property under 2 years ago. I don't imagine there's a lot of equity in it. How's it been going? Oh, people keep offering too little and there's not enough equity in the house to pay all the commissions. Got it. That must be tough. What's the seller's plan? Are they going to write a check? Oh, they don't have any money. What if I can get them out of that deal without having to come up out of pocket anything, and I take care of you with a full commission? I have a strategy that can make that happen. Do you think they'd be interested in listening to that conversation? Could you get them on the phone with us? How many of you think that that's in a conversation that you can have with a seller right now where you're bringing alignment and value to their seller? Number 3, who's holding a property right now that's upside down? I'm holding 3. Damn TV show. So what am I going to do? Do I write a check? Get out? Absolutely not. How do we hold properties in ways that allow us to provide or extract more value from them? Creative ways to rent. Guys, the day of the long-term rent, especially in a market right now with rates the way they are, is going to be very difficult to accomplish. Okay? The play right now is short-term rentals. Make sure you are watching the markets that you are doing these in, because of course not every market is going to be okay with that. So if you're in a market like Atlanta or LA, you cannot do a short-term rental without jumping through a lot of hoops and getting licensing. In those markets, I've pivoted to corporate housing and medical housing. Lastly, sober living. So anything that you're holding right now, or if you have any clients that are holding properties right now that still want to get into the game, offer them the opportunity of one of those types of leasing strategies. The cash flow that's coming to them is about 4 times what you would normally get in a long-term hold. Tremendous value opportunity there. Guys, I can't tell you how exciting markets like this are. We've got deer in the headlight type opportunities. Every one of you guys can get out there and have these conversations. Every one of you can make it happen. But if you have not yet hit your first deal, I can tell you what the problem is. And that leads me to the last point. Are you giving 110% every single time that you sit down at your desk to do work? I doubt it. I doubt it. Are you tapping out at 26 minutes? Have you spent more time adjusting the items on your desk than having and hitting the KPIs that you require in order to get the results you're looking for? Did you spend more time on social media checking notifications than you did sending outreach messages? Be honest. These are the following KPIs you need to hit in order to get to a deal volume of 5 deals a month. Who wants 5 deals a month in here? Guys, these are KPIs that I'm not supposed to talk about. But whatever. First, 50 conversations a day, minimum. Minimum. Talk time. 2 minutes of conversation, minimum. 5 minutes of conversation, maximum. SMS, text messaging. 200 outbound text messages a day, minimum. With a return rate of no less than 40%. So if you are not being responded to at least 40% of the time, you have to increase the number of outreach messages that you're sending. Make sense?
Yes. Yep.
Next, wholesalers, other individuals in the business. Minimum 20 conversations a day with other, even the people in this room. Sitting in these chairs are your potential private money lenders, your potential deal partners. How many in this room have a deal under contract right now? How many in this room have a buyer right now looking for a property? See? Sitting in these chairs are potential deals. The funny thing is that what ends up happening a lot of times in these rooms is you guys are more interested in taking a picture with Cody Sperber than you are talking to the person beside you. Maybe not Cody, maybe me, but you know what I mean. I'm kidding. I love Cody. He's the best. But that's what I'm talking about. Be relentless with the outreach. If you are not hitting these KPIs, guys, there is no way that you will get to a deal volume of 5 deals a month. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. Your outreach volume will always translate to the volume of deals that you're closing. So how do we get there? Because I told you guys when I started this off, this is not just about being able to push through, right? We're not kicking doors down. We need doors to open for us. So that brings me back to, what can we do for ourselves on a day-to-day basis to align ourselves in a mental framework that will succeed? How many of you are setting intentions for your day? Not enough. The ones who are, congratulations. Every day, wake up in the morning before you look at your phone and set an intention for what you plan to achieve that day in your business. If you have not made that your primary goal, your goal will not happen. It can't. You want to know why? Because your goal is like your spouse. It wants you to want it. It does. The problem is most of us don't really want our goal. Because it's not what we're thinking about. I tell you guys, when I leave town, all I want to do is be with my wife. It's all I can think about. It's all I can think about. I want to wake up beside her. I want to go to bed beside her. I'm like constantly sending her messages. She's on my mind all the time. Right? If I come home, I walk in the door. Oh, hey. Do you think she's going to feel that? Do you think she's going to understand what's been going on in my mind the entire time I've been away? Absolutely not. She wants me to want her, right? She has to see it. Your goal is the same way. If you are not waking up in the morning and setting an intention to hit that goal will not be hit. So every day, find the opportunity to set the intention. The second thing, this is an exercise, guys, that you have to go through in order to walk through the door. Right? This Dr. Cook, the same individual who showed us the power of our mind to hit 110%, has every one of his champions do this exercise. So we're all going to do it today. Now, who has a vision for what their goal is going to look like when they achieve it? Who knows what that looks like? Show of hands. That championship day, the day you get the trophy, the day you win it all. You get the check, you close the deal. For some of you guys, it might be that first deal. Some of you guys, it might be, I don't know, an A&E TV show. Some of you guys, it might be, I want to make $1 million this year. Some of you guys, it might be, I just want my dad to say I'm proud of you. Whatever that is, that championship day, if you have not pictured what that day looks like, you will never see that day. You can only walk through a door you've seen before. When Pace Morby and I had the dream to do 10X, do you want to know how we went about it? We bought tickets. We walked into that arena and we sat in the seats. We wanted to smell what the room smelled like. We wanted to see what the room looked like. We wanted to hear what the room sounded like, because we understood that we will not find that energy unless we understand what that energy feels like. You guys trust me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, sit up in your seats. I'm going to go through an exercise with you guys. And this is, I'm telling you guys, this exercise will magnetize you to accomplish what you are trying to accomplish. I promise. Get comfortable in your chair. If you have distractions, put them away. It's only going to be a few minutes. This is life or death for you, because if you do not believe that you achieving your dreams or not achieving your dreams is literally your soul dying, then you shouldn't be in this room. Just get comfortable, sit up straight, not uncomfortable, not lazy, straight back. I just want you to take a deep breath right now. Hold it up at the top and then let it out. And when you let it out, just feel your muscles starting to relax, feel your tension starting to leave, feel it all loosening up. One more time, deep breath in, hold it up at the top. When you hold it, I want you to flex all the muscles in your body, from your chest, your arms, your butt, your legs, all of it, and let it go, release. And last time, guys, one deep breath in, hold it up at the top, and if you haven't already closed your eyes on the way out, close your eyes. And I want you to bring to mind what that championship day looks like. Who are you with? Where are you? Is there a dollar amount associated with it? Are there people there? People you love? What does it sound like? Who attended? Who didn't? Now I want you to bring to mind, and in your cavity of your chest, I want you to try to feel what that feels like. You did it. Every dream you had for your life has finally come true. All the things that people said to you you'd never be able to accomplish, they were wrong. It all happened. God heard your prayers and said yes. Yes to all of them. That feeling in your chest right now, it's growing. That emotion is so deep, it feels like it is a part of all of the cells in your body. In fact, it's energizing all of the cells in your body. You can feel the atoms in your body starting to escalate and vibrate higher. That excitement, that opportunity to step into who you were always meant to be has finally arrived, and you showed up for the call. We're all here for you. I'm here for you. We're all cheering for you right now. Wow. What a thing. Can you believe it? You did it. You did it. How do your parents feel right now? Whether they're dead or alive, how proud are they of you? How about their parents? All the people who had to sacrifice to get you to that spot where you got to win that championship, you got to take that check, you got to make it happen. All of the things they went through to get you here, they're all cheering for you. And the ones before them, they too. In fact, it's been a conspiracy for 100 years or longer for you to step into this moment, and you never realized it. Every turn, every pitfall, every drama, every mistake was planned. Every win, a gift, pointing you in the direction for you to step into this moment. Congratulations. Wow. And just sit in that feeling for a second, because, man, you earned it. What does your body feel like? What do the cells in your body feel like? Can you hear your heart? Can you hear your breath? Now, as that starts to fade away, all of a sudden you were transported to 20 minutes before that championship. Now, that 20 minutes is metaphorical. That could mean whatever it was that you had to do to get to that championship. Where were you? What did you have to go through? What hell did you walk? What tension did you put yourself through? Who did you have to become to win? What activity are you doing right now? Who's around you now? Are the same people who were there celebrating you, there with you in this time right before the win? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? Who can you see? Are you going through emotional pain? Do you feel like it's all about to implode on you? You've already seen the end. You know the result. But how desperate are you? Are you down 10 points? Is it all about to unravel? Is the story going to end with you losing? Absolutely not. Because you know how this story ends. You've seen it. You lived it. So what do you got to do? What is the plan? Who do you have to be? Now, what is the emotion you feel at that moment? What is the resolve? What level of commitment are you willing to give to yourself for this goal to be accomplished? What depths of spirit are you willing to engage to walk through that door? Who are you becoming right now for this reality to become real? See the movements. Feel the emotion. trust the win. Do you see it? Do you feel it? And do you trust it? As we come back into the room, put yourself back in the seat. Start to feel your body again. Start to understand and remember where you are. You're back in this room. Your energy's been back into your body. If there's any tension, it's gone. If there's any apprehension, it's left. If there's any decision that was in you that was not going to get you to that championship, I hope it's gone. Because whatever it is that's diminishing you right now in life is not worth it. I would rather die than not chase it. And I know that's the same for you. Guys, I gave you guys actionable items to walk out of this room today and murder it out there in this market. You have the plan. Every single one of you has the plan. Every one of you has the confidence and the tools to be able to make it happen. So what's the excuse? None. You are surrounded by lions in this room. Thank you.
So good. Oh my God, that was so good.
Love you, brother.
Hey, how's the other team? Come on, give it up. Where's the energy? That's what I'm talking about right there. Good. I freaking love you, man.
I love you back. I love you back.
I'm so proud of you. Great.
Thanks for watching another one of my YouTube videos. Now it's your turn to go out and take some action. But before you do, like and subscribe to my channel because the law of reciprocity means you owe me.